everyone is obsessed with Nancy Pelosi. What has she done here? She has committed two unconscionable crimes, according to the GOP. One, she has went along with Bush's enhanced interrogation program, so she's just as guilty as everybody else, and she should be investigated. Number one, I have significant concerns that she did go along with that program. I've voiced those concerns before on the show. But aren't the Republicans admitting that if what she did is terrible, then what all of the Republicans did in going along with it, and what the Republican administration ordered, was at least equally terrible, if not more so, because they're the ones who came up with the program and authorized it. Now, again, these are the things that mystify me in the press. They reported, as usual, 50-50. Well, Cheney and Bush did the whole torture program, but Pelosi might have known about it, so let's call it 50-50. That's not 50-50. If you believe Pelosi is guilty, then you should think that Cheney and Bush are 100 times more guilty for doing the program that Pelosi is guilty of consenting to, if she consented to it. But no one seems to mention that. So when Peter King and other Republicans go on TV and say, oh, no, it's totally Pelosi's fault, how come people don't say, hey, if you think what Pelosi did is so bad, don't you think what Cheney did is horrendous? All right, so that's point number one. Point number two is she's apparently guilty of saying that the CIA lied. How dare you question the CIA? I know Republicans would never do that because they respect our officers in the field, in this case, intelligence officers. Well, in fact, Senator Kit Bond of Missouri, a Republican, said on NBC's Today Show, I think it is a tragedy that we are seeing this massive attack on our intelligence community. A tragedy indeed, Senator Bond. We'll get back to you in a second. John Boehner agrees. He's, of course, the leader of the Republicans in the House. Lying to the Congress of the United States is a crime. And if the Speaker is accusing the CIA and other intelligence officials of lying or misleading the Congress, then she should come forward with the evidence and turn over to the Justice Department so they can be prosecuted. If that's not the case, I think she ought to apologize to our intelligence professionals around the world. And he continues, instead of criticizing them, instead of accusing them of lying, we ought to be patting them on the back and telling them, job well done. Now, can you guess what's coming? Quotes from Republicans, including John Boehner, on what they thought of the CIA when they didn't agree with it. Now, there are several instances of this, and you can find quotes all day long on this. One, when there was no weapons of mass destruction, the Republicans were like, oh, it wasn't us. It's those son of a bitches at the CIA who blew the intelligence. I can't believe how terrible they are at their job. And point number two, in 2007, when the CIA said, no, Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, of course the Republicans were livid and said everybody at the CIA was incompetent. Here, I'll give you some direct quotes, and there are many, many to choose from here. And some of these were compiled by Firedog Lake, which is a great website, and also Sam Stein at Huffington Post. Here's Senate Intelligence Chairman at the time, Pat Roberts, telling the Washington Post in October of 2003, speaking for the Republicans, that, quote, the executive was ill-served by the intelligence community. I worry about the credibility of the intelligence community. Roberts accused the CIA of egregious intelligence failures, saying that the agency would have to earn back the trust of the political community. Quote, not having your actions second-guessed is something that is earned. So back then, second-guessing the CIA was perfectly fine. They were miserable failures. There was no patting on the back and saying, job well done, and move along. And don't question the ways that I bring you security. It reminds me of Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. And here is John Boehner in 2007 when he disagreed with the National Intelligence estimate on Iran. Either I don't have confidence in what they told me several months ago, or I don't have confidence in what they're telling me today. Wait a minute, you're saying you don't have confidence in what they say? Are you accusing them of getting it wrong or misleading the American people or lying? I know John Boehner wouldn't do that. Well, here's one more fun quote. Boehner said on Meet the Press, it's clear to all of us, Democrats and Republicans, that we have flawed intelligence. The CIA have bad intelligence. The Pentagon had bad intelligence. And for that matter, all of our allies around the world had the same bad intelligence. So, when they bring you intelligence you don't like, John Boehner and the rest of the Republicans, they're terrible, they're misleading, they're inept failures. When a Democrat says, hey, wait a minute, they might have gotten this wrong on what they briefed her on? How dare you question the CIA? The CIA is brilliant. And unless you have overwhelming evidence to the contrary, you better just pat them on the back and move on along. Okay, son? There are people who need to be on that wall. All right. So, shocking Republican hypocrisy. I didn't see that coming. Wow, who could have? Now, the thing is, so Firedog Lake sees it coming. Huffington Post sees it coming. I see it coming. How come the press have not put any of these quotes in any of their stories? And I've now seen, I think, dozens saying how terrible Nancy Pelosi is and how much trouble she's in and how dare she question the CIA. Did none of those reporters remember any of the Republican criticism of the CIA over these last 8 years? It's amazing to me how they can't do a simple job.